So how do you guys do? Thinking about hiring you as an investment manager, want to know what your performance was? Well, let's take a look at what really matters. Studies of pension plans show that market timing had very little impact on performance, and stock selection very little impact on performance. Asset allocation drives the bus. So we're going to use that as a criteria for answering this question. Now let's say that your portfolio that you've been managing has been mainly focused on large US stocks, and I was divided between the both of them, UK and US stocks. If we go back 1 year and say, well, what was your performance versus mine, and I were evenly divided, well, I would have been really bad compared to you because your US stocks did much better. How about 5-year periods? Well, US stocks did better even 5 years. How about 10 years? That's a long period of time. Oh, US stocks did better. Well, you guys must not be very good, right? Well, now you look at the previous 10 years and you go, well, wait a minute. Now you look like geniuses. So you can see how this can be really misleading. Now let's go back to 1960. The performance between the two asset categories was virtually identical. But if I held them both, I would have ended up with more return and less risks. Now you see how diversification actually plays into this. Now let's say that we're talking about growth versus value stocks. We go back 1942 and you're thinking about, well, what do you have? And I say, I'm evenly divided, let's say. My value portfolio didn't do very well versus your growth portfolio. But if you had gone, oh man, I'm not going to hold value, you would have been really sorry going forward from that point on, as you can see. So there's more to the story. How about risk-adjusted returns? It's one of the things that you got to think about. What about how each one of your funds did versus its asset category? We have to ask the right questions when it comes to investing. That's why in the initial consultation, we give you the 20 must-answer questions when it comes to making prudent decisions regarding your investments.